Good evening, guys. Is everybody able to hear me? Do let me know if you guys are able to hear me in the chat below. Great. I see a few yes in the chat. Thank you. So, we said the webinar will start at sharp 7. So, let's just wait for 13 more minutes, 13 or 23. Anyways, we'll wait till 7 p.m. and we'll let everybody join. Until then, you guys can start conversations in the chat below. I'll read them out. Good evening, Dhanush. I hope everybody is safe and fine. For people who have joined just now, we're just waiting and the webinar hasn't begun yet. We'll start at sharp 7 p.m. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to whoever is joining in. So how are you guys? Are you guys started preparing for your competitive exams? What have you guys done over this lockdown? Was it a productive period? I guess people are returning back to their normal lives. So how has it been for you? How is this lockdown, this whole 2020 is, and have you made any resolutions? I think that is the most, asked topic since 2021 has begun. Do you guys have any set goals, or do you have any resolutions or few things that you want to do better in 2021? You can share it in the chat below. Good evening, Aditya, Praneeth, Subhalakshmi. Good evening. Yes, acing competitive exam. Is that one of your goals, Subhalakshmi? Good evening, Himanshu. Praneeth, CLAT exam preps are going on. That's great, Praneeth. Looks like you're being productive. That's amazing. Shweta, good evening. Hope you reach your goal, Shubhalakshmi. You have my wishes. Aziza, hello. Shashank, good evening. Prep for SSC exams. That's great. I hope you guys have set your schedules and calendar, are planning it strategically because you have to plan well and of course you have to execute the plan. Until and unless you do that, I don't think that's the first step for acing competitive exams, I feel. Tanmay, good evening. Shabana, hi. James, hello. Good evening, Devranjani. So what about the others? I got only a couple of responses about the 2020 ambitions, goals. What about the others? Do you guys have any resolutions or are there any things that you want to do better this year? For example, I think we all want to be a little more productive than last year, even though like we were locked down in a very unprecedented situation in a crisis. There were days which were extremely productive, and there were days we didn't feel like doing anything, and we had all these negative thoughts rushing. And I think we can reinforce a few more positive thoughts than last year, be a little more positive and more creative, productive. Yes, I know these seem like really high goals and but yes, let us try to do at least a little bit. Whenever we think of something negative, let us do something positive and divert ourselves rather than just thinking about negative things and doing it the same after acknowledging it. That is something we can change, right? So I think that is one thing we all can try to do. Aziza, my name is Navina. Yes, Misty, going to show gratitude for everything in my life. That's one big thing. That's a great thing. Even few people maintain a gratitude journal every day. You can just write one thing or three things that you're grateful for. I think that actually helps you have a positive and a happy mindset. All right, guys, just 6 more minutes. Let's just hang in there. Let's wait for everybody to join. I don't want to start without everybody and I don't want them to miss it out. So, just a few more minutes before we start. Right. So, we were talking about something. Praneeth, can we see you, ma'am? Praneeth, I'm sharing the presentations here, so I'm not sure if I can turn on my webcam. It's either this or that. So I think the presentation has more higher priority. So yeah, we'll see next time if I can do something and fit both the webcam and the presentation together in the YouTube. Himanshu, I'm poor in English writing, especially spelling errors. Yes, Himanshu, we've all been there. I think it's practice, practice, practice. There is no other best solution that I can think of. That is the one thing that is in the top of my brain that I can suggest you for. I want to improve my writing skills. James, I think to improve your writing skills, I think we can start writing about something that we like and that we're passionate about, that we can talk for on for hours together. I think we should start writing from there. It doesn't have to be something, like general knowledge or current affairs. It can be anything. You just have to start writing about whatever you like and then after some time go back to it and correct the mistakes. Yeah, that's how you have to practice. How to improve vocabulary. Vocabulary, Garg, I think you have to expose yourself to a lot of content. It can be either newspaper, TV, social media, or anything. It has to be good quality content. And yeah, whenever you see a good word, try to learn what it means and implement it in your conversation. That is really important because learning about a new word and then after some time, you'll definitely forget it. You can maybe write it down somewhere and try to implement it in your conversation. That is a really, really important point. Yeah. So, yeah, try to implement those in your conversation and gradually you'll improve your vocabulary. You have to read a lot of books or, yeah, like I said, expose yourself to quality content. It can be anything. It can be TVs, gossip, newspapers. It can be, it has to be good quality so that you can improve from reading that. Praneeth, how to remember synonyms and antonyms of thousands of words for exams. Praneeth, we would have learned literally thousands of words since we were in kindergarten or in primary school. How do we remember all of that? Because we know the meaning and we know which context, an example sentence in our brain. So try to associate the word with an example sentence and try to remember so that you know, okay, this means this in this sentence. So how can I use it in the other sentence? And I guess that is how the synonyms and antonyms work too. So try to associate it with something strong and something that's easily rememberable. So yeah, I think that is how you remember things. Ganga, yes, this includes UPSC exams as well. How to answer comprehensive questions. Nagur, that's all we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about competitive exams and how to score better in your English section. So just hang in there, 2 more minutes. Ma'am, is it like UPSC needs flattery vocabulary? Kushi, I don't exactly know what you meant by flattery vocabulary, but vocabulary is really essential no matter where, in which part of your life you are in. You can be a college student, you might be preparing for competitive exams, or maybe you're in a middle age and you're working, you're retired. You can be anything, but still you will want to improve your vocabulary. So I don't think that you have to restrict yourself whether competitive exam needs better vocabulary or not. You can just improve. Ananya, yes, the recorded webinar will be available in the channel later. Ma'am, what about SBI PO? Yes, so sir, I think that includes in step for competitive exams as well. Rajvardhan, you didn't miss anything. We were just waiting for sharp 7 o'clock so that we could start. So you haven't missed anything. All right, what about UPSC main exam essay writing? Yes, we will cover the essay writing as well. UPSC needs flattery vocab. Kushi, instead of saying flattery vocab, I think you need to use the appropriate words and phrases. You can't just use the normal words which we use in a conversation, I think. You need to make a proper and a strong impression. So you need to know certain vocabulary to ace that because we cannot use the normal words in an article or something that's related to the government, right? It has to be appropriate enough. So yes, you need a separate vocabulary for that. You need to enrich your vocabulary there. So yes, guys, it's 7 o'clock. Let's pause the questions there. We will get back to the questions in the end of the session. We will have a Q&A session, so I'll answer your questions then. So let's jump into the webinar today. All right, so I know you guys have all joined here since we said that is going to be a webinar about how to improve your English skills, about competitive exams. So I know one thing that you guys are all preparing for competitive exams. But what competitive exams are you guys preparing for? Quick, can you just type it out? Which exam are you guys preparing for? Is it UPSC, SSC, PSC, IBPS, banking, or what exam are you guys preparing for? UPSC, UPSC, UPSC. Okay. SSE. All right. All right. I can see a lot of UPSC and SSE. Here and there, there is GATE, CLAT, but UPSC and SSE is like the majority. Great. Great to see you guys, and you guys in the right place. This webinar is right for you. So, I'll just inform you guys that here in this webinar, we're going to talk about STEP for competitive exams, which is going to focus on the English language or the general English components, which will be covered in the variety of competitive exams that you guys have all mentioned here. So, before I say that you have to go get STEP for competitive exams, it is only fair enough that you get to know what the course looks like and what you're getting yourself into. Okay, so here we have split the English language components that is covered in the competitive exams into objective, written, and interview. Right, so we'll start with the objective exams. We all like objective exams because it's easy and sometimes we just go with the fluke. All right, so let's start with reading comprehension. I don't think we need a special, explanation or an introduction for reading comprehension. We would have heard this word or we would have tried this question since school, I think. When we are in school in English, they give us a huge paragraph which is about 1 page and we have to answer the questions later. But do we get the answers right every time? I think one of the techniques that we all use, rather than reading the passage, we directly jump to the questions, and again we go back to the passage and we see if there are any common words, and we just randomly cut, copy, paste whatever is there in the passage as the answer, right? We do that. Sometimes we do that, or sometimes we read the whole passage and we go to the questions, we see what is similar, and then whatever. The thing we do is we just cut, copy, paste, and we see if the words are any similar between the passage and the questions, right? That is what we do in reading comprehensions. So how are we going to tackle that? So here, again, we are going to give you passage. We will give you the passage and you have to read it. After reading the passage, you have to answer the questions. And after answering the questions, the trainer is going to come and teach you. So the trainer will come and explain the logic. Obviously, after you answer the questions, you will get to know if it is right or wrong. And then the trainer will come and teach you, and she will tell you the logic. She will teach you why the answer is correct, and she will also explain why the other options are wrong. Because I think that's equally important. Rather than just knowing what is the correct answer, you need to know why the others are wrong as well. Because as I remember from in school or in colleges, the other options are equally similar and we get confused between them. Correct? So we need to know why the other options are wrong as well, and the trainer will give you the perfect explanation about the logic, and she will even give you the clues on how to pick the answer from the passage, and how to not confuse yourself with the other sentences which may look like the right answer for your question, right? We should not get confused with the other sentences. We need to focus on what is the right answer. So these reading comprehensions, okay, so this is how your course will look like. This is the reading comprehension passage that you will get, and that is the question next to that. And here you will know whether the answer you've given is right or not. And here the trainer will explain about all the 4 options that has been given, why it is right and why the other 3 options are wrong. Okay, so these reading comprehensions that we've given are not just random ones that we used to get, in our schools, right? These are chosen, and these passages are chosen such that you guys would benefit. These are actual news articles and they are general knowledge which are equally relevant to your competitive exams. These might even help you with the other aspects. And few passages are even taken from the Hindu article. So once you understand these and you practice these a lot, you will gradually improve your reading skills. So That brings us to the end of this section. But before we go to the next section, I'd like to give you guys a small tip, or maybe a small thing that you guys can practice. I know that since you guys are preparing for this competitive exams, you all read a lot of newspaper, and you guys, read a lot of newspapers and articles to improve your reading skills or improve your knowledge about the current affairs, general knowledge, and etc. So when you read an article in the newspaper, you are done reading it and you just go to the next article. Before you go to the next article, just go back to the first article and try to recollect what the article is trying to convey, because there is always one main point that the article or the writer journalist would want to convey in that particular article, right? The one main point, and they would have just elaborated the whole thing into detail and explained it to you. Try to understand what is the one main point that they're trying to convey, the meat of that passage. This will help you with your reading comprehension skills when you try to recollect what they're trying to say. All right, so that ends with the reading comprehension section. Now next we are going to the parajumbles and the word reordering. Again, this is a little bit of a familiar topic. We know what parajumbles and word reordering is. So it is basically you are given with incorrect arrangement of sentences or paragraphs, and we have to arrange them properly, which will form a meaningful sentence or a paragraph. Correct? So here again, you will be given the exercise in the beginning. You will be given the incorrect format and you have to make it into the right one. And then the trainer will come and explain it to you. And she will also tell you which is the right format and why is it so. One thing that I have noticed from my own personal experience is that as we grow older and older, this parajumbles becomes difficult, more and more difficult, because when we look at the options, almost when we jumble it properly, sometimes when we do it in two different ways, both the ways give us meaningful sentences. But which is the right meaningful sentence? I think that is where we all go wrong, and that is where we all get confused and all panicky. Have you guys ever experienced something like that? Like the given sentence, the incorrect sentence, when you change it in two different ways, both the times you get meaningful sentences, but you don't know which kind of sentence is the right answer. Have you guys ever faced that? I mean, I faced it. Correct? So here the trainer will give you the logic behind how to sort out and how to distinguish which one is the right, and she'll give you the tips and tricks and all the clues that is necessary. And this tips and tricks is obviously very essential because you need to save a lot of time in competitive exams. I think time planning is one big thing that is difficult. I think time is the major constraint, not just a tiny part, it's the major constraint. It takes a lot of time. We all can solve the answers, but doing that in a short period of time is really important. So these tips and tricks and shortcuts will really, really help you, and the trainer is going to give you just that. So this is the incorrect formation of a paragraph, and those are the options and the question given on your right hand side. And this is how, when you select an option, this is how you will get an on-screen feedback saying that which is right and which is wrong. And the trainer will explain you, excuse me, why the other options are wrong and why the option that is correct. And she will also explain you how she got that, how that particular sentence was arranged and why in such a way, right? So if you do these more exercises, you will definitely improve your parajumbles. Everything is just an amount of practice. So for these parajumbles and word reordering, you don't just require English skills. You also require some, coherence and structuring, and you also need to know some logic. You just don't need English skills. Along with English skills, you need all this, and together you will be able to ace this section. Right, so word reordering is almost similar. It is just like parajumbles. Again, you have to answer the type of questions and rearrange the group of words in the correct order. and then the trainer comes and explains the answer first, and again she'll try to explain you the logic behind why the answer is right or wrong. Alright, so we're done with parajumbles and word reordering also. Next is idioms and phrases. I think I can say idioms is my favorite part of English language. Isn't it? Idioms kind of make our language colorful. Instead of just saying a sentence just bland and straight to the face, we can say it in a very creative way and a very colorful way. So here here you will be given a video, a short conversation between two or more people, and in their conversation they include an idiom in between. And after watching that conversation, the trainer will come and explain you what that particular idiom means. And after that, after 5 to 6 sets of conversation, you have to answer the questions to test your understanding about how much you understood about that idiom. So if you practice those questions consistently, you will get to know in which context they use this idiom. You can't use one idiom in all the context, right? You have to use it in a particular situation and it has to fit the context perfectly. So here, this is how the conversation is going to look like. That is the short video between two people, and they will include the idiom in between, and you have to answer the question on your right hand side, and then your trainer will come and teach you, and she will explain you about the idiom. And yes, before we go to the next section, again, I'd like to give a small tip. I know you guys all read newspapers, like I mentioned before, but it would be really great if you guys have a habit of reading books. Because I'm not sure about non-fiction, because in fiction books, I've seen a lot of idioms there. They use a lot of idioms, even though you don't understand what that particular idiom means. When you read it together in the situation or in the context, you'll at least get to know the gist of it and what they're trying to convey. And you'll kind of get the idea, oh, so this is what they're trying to say. So when you hear that idiom again, maybe even in your exam, you can at least know what it means, what it kind of means at least. So you can pick it one from the options below, right? So this reading book habit is kind of good. So it's better if you guys have a habit. If not, I think you can gradually improve it. Reading books is fun, right? All right, so that brings us to the end of idioms and phrases. Next, we're going to the grammar section. Okay, grammar I think is one of the dry topics, at least for me. Is it a dry topic, guys? What do you guys think about grammar? Do you guys like grammar, or is it boring? Is it difficult? Are you guys with me? Am I audible? All right. So as I was saying, this grammar section is kind of boring and it's dry, and we often, even though how much ever deep and clearly our teacher used to explain in school, we still kind of struggle it in some part, right? So here, okay, so many are saying that you love grammar and it is favorite part. Grammar is easy. Few are saying it's boring and difficult since childhood. You always fail. Yeah, few people who are saying it's boring. I feel you guys, and those who are saying it's easy and it's really you love grammar. Wow, I really appreciate you guys. That's really amazing that you find grammar so interesting. But yes, so what are the types of the subtopics of grammar that will be covered in the competitive exams? They'll give you a sentence and you have to convert the active voice into passive voice, or the direct speech into reported, or vice versa. That is the one exercise, that question they'll give you in competitive exams. So we always struggle when we say these words, no, active voice to passive voice. This all sounds so fancy and we get confused. But day to day we use passive voice, active voice. We just don't know the name of it, right? Don't you guys agree? There are so many things that we know, but we don't know the label or the topic that they use for the grammar. So here, How do we tackle this so-called dry and few people who call it interesting part of grammar? We give you a conversation. Just like a daily conversation, it's not going to be something about rocket science or about something difficult. It's going to be something you can easily understand. And in the conversation, few people might use active voice, passive voice, reported, whatever the type of grammar that I mentioned before. And after watching the conversation, the trainer is going to come and explain what kind of sentence they used. Is it active or passive? And after listening to the trainer, after learning, and then you are going to practice some questions based on whatever she has explained. Right? So this conversation, the trainer is going to explain with examples, just like how we used in the classroom, instead a little more interesting through the basics of the concept and the concept details, and with an example, a definition, everything you want to know. And again, after you answer those questions, the trainer will again come and discuss about each option, whether it is right or wrong. Like I said, it's really important to know why the other options are wrong. We can't just go by our fluke and by our luck every time. We can't afford to do that in our competitive exam, right? So here is the conversation that you will be viewing when you are practicing your grammar section, and that is the question on your right hand side. And the trainer is coming and explaining to you what the conversation is about. And this is the answer, the on-screen feedback about why the answer is right. And the trainer is explaining you with explanation about why the others are wrong. That brings us to the end of the grammar section also. The remaining is a vocabulary section. Like I've mentioned before in the chat, many people were asking how to improve vocabulary. It's vocabulary, I can say it is not just useful for your competitive exams, it is really important for your at any point of life. You can be anything, you can be of any age, but still you will need to improve your vocabulary. So how are we going to tackle such an important topic of English? This is going to be a little bit of different. We're not going to have any like a video module or a conversation or a trainer like the previous sections. So vocabulary, how do they use it in the exams? The vocabulary is constantly tested in all the competitive exam questions. They may ask in form of synonyms, antonyms, fill in the blanks and etc. That is how your vocabulary skill is going to be tested in your competitive exams. And to help you, we have created two types of modules for the vocabulary. The one is going to be about advanced words that will help in your exam preparation. And the other module is going to be the words taken from the Indian Constitution articles. They are really taken from the Indian Constitution articles, and that is how we are going to learn. And so you will learn these new words and answer questions to check the understanding, and repeatedly practicing these questions will help you remember the meaning and the usage. And this is the structure for tackling your vocabulary. You will answer a series of questions and immediately you will get an on-screen feedback as soon as you select. And later, based on that, you will be given more questions based on your answer, and you will practice more questions. And yeah, after you repeatedly practice, and when someone says a new word, like I said, you have to implement in your conversation, that will really help. Implementing the new words which you're learning, when you use it in your conversation, that is really a huge point, and many people don't emphasize this enough. They just say that you need to expose yourself to new words and note it down, but without implementing in conversation and using it yourself, you will forget it, and there is no point in learning new words. Excuse me. Sorry. So yes, coming back to the vocabulary section, this is how your vocabulary section, the faces are going to look like, and the question is on your right hand side, and when you select on the right answer, you will get an on-screen feedback. I think you guys can see the answer feedback there, the answer you selected and which is the right answer. They're giving us a small explanation there. Right, so after that you will practice based on that. You'll be given a couple more questions to test your understanding about that idiom. I guess you'll be given that particular idiom which you have learned. It will be placed in different contexts and to check your understanding if you understand it well enough, right? So yes, that brings us to the end of the objective exams. We're done with objective exams. So what is the next section that we said we'll cover? Yes, it's going to be the written exams. Written exams is, I think, after we, surveyed a few exam aspirants, they said this written exams is one of the most challenging and the difficult part of competitive exams. Do you guys agree with that? And when I say written exams, the one thing that strikes in everybody's mind is précis writing. So there's a lot of misconception and myths around précis writing. So what do you think is précis writing? Do you know any definition about it? If you guys know what précis writing means or what you think it means, do type it in the chat box and I'll read it out. Let's see if anybody can answer it correctly. Tell me what précis writing means. I'll wait for 2 minutes. You guys can type out your answers. Few people are saying don't know. Maybe you can give a try. Maybe try to look at the word. What does it actually means? Few people are typing out the answers. Very good. Summarize form, summary. No idea. Conclusion, writing in short form. Crispy form writing, a type of summary, abstract note making. Wow, you guys. Interesting answers. Essay writing, limited accurate, short synopsis, conclusion, writing in a precise manner, summarizing, short story, shortening the passage with actual meaning. You guys are hitting it really close. You guys are getting a gist of it. But do you want me to reveal the exact answer? The right answer. The right words you need to use to say about précis writing. Do you want me to reveal the answer? All right, you guys. You guys, essay is a piece of writing with a main topic, short writing, easy, understandable, and reading, limited words, completing, elaborating the topic. All right, so you guys have said yes. So, précis writing is compressing or condensing a passage to 1/3 of its length. Condensing. I think condensing is the right word, I guess. Instead of just saying shortening or summarizing, I think they do give the same meaning, but I feel condensing hits them more accurately. This is the right answer, guys. This is what précis writing actually means. So, how do you go about a good précis? Like many of you guys said, it's shortening, it's summarizing, and yes. So why do you think we have to emphasize so much of importance for précis writing? Because I see most of the school syllabus doesn't contain précis writing. I never read about précis writing in my school. So it's not easily discussed. It's not that widely discussed, and it is difficult to get a proper guide online for précis writing. Here we explain it in a step-by-step video. You know why people give a step-by-step video instead of having just a long video and let them watch? Most of our videos in the course or whatever videos that we do is short videos. You know why is that? Because scientists have said that a human can grasp knowledge much better in a short form videos than long form videos, and we have used that effectively for précis writing and have made it into step-by-step process. So I was talking about how do you go. So here you have to start learning about paraphrasing, summarizing, and then you are on your way to a better précis. All right, so we have followed that path, And here is the trainer. She'll explain you about how to do a proper paraphrasing. You'll be allowed to watch this video, and you have to paraphrase the article, and then you will have to summarize another paragraph. I think the paragraph is cut here in the presentation, but yes, it is a really big paragraph. It's a large paragraph, and you have to summarize it. And after you paraphrase and summarize, then only then you will be able to write a good précis, because these two are really important base skills for a proper précis writing. So, and see, I just told you guys, it's a huge paragraph. So this is the précis writing, and after you read the paragraph, you have to answer the questions on your right hand side. And this is the structure that we'll be learning for précis writing. You have to read the paragraph, and you have to learn from the trainer about all the steps that you need for a précis writing, and then you have to answer the practice questions. Like I said, here's a huge paragraph. The huge paragraph is again disappearing here. It's not complete. But this is the paragraph that you'll have to read, and after reading the paragraph, you'll have to learn from the trainer, and you have to answer it. These are the answers you'll see on the right hand side. Alright, so not just this précis writing, the trainer will help you through the steps of summarizing and paraphrasing, and then you have to answer the questions. For précis writing, instead of going for a long and confusing lesson, like I've said, it has been broken down into small videos, a step-by-step video to a good précis writing. So this module not just covers about précis writing, it covers about the basic of essay writing, like how to write an expository essay, augmentative essay, along with the phrases that you need to write in an essay. I think someone asked me in the beginning of, before we started this webinar, about how is, is it flattery vocabulary is necessary. So rather than saying a flattery vocabulary, like I said, you need to know the appropriate phrases and words that you will use in this so-called essay writing, précis writing, and everything. Right, so the types of essay, the essay writing, like I said, we'll cover about expository essay, augmentative essay, and along with the phrases needed to use in the essay. Right, you can see the question on the right hand side after learning from the trainer. Alright, so in the written exams, we're done with paraphrasing, summarizing your précis and the words necessary for writing a good essay, right? So, what is the use of mastering this essay writing skills without few of your sentences not satisfying the subject-verb agreement? Yes, your essay needs to be grammatically correct to advance into your competitive exam, and you need to create a strong impact, like I've already mentioned before. So this is the structure that is going to help you understand the subject-verb agreement rules while writing. You might think that this subject-verb agreement sounds a little, fancy, but when you guys really start learning about it, you will understand what it is, and you would have already known, but you would have struggled in some point of sentences when you're writing. We kind of lose. We forget all the rules when we're writing. We go with the flow, and we don't want to correct our grammar. So you guys might already know about these rules when you were in school, but now we would have probably forgotten. So it is really important to follow these rules. If we lose it, that is why we think that few sentences are grammatically off. We think that this sentence doesn't seem right. Something is wrong. Something is wrong with this sentence. It probably has to do with the subject-verb agreement. Okay, so this is how we're going to tackle it. First, you will watch a conversation between two or more people, and they are going to use correct and incorrect sentences that follow the subject and verb agreement, and you will learn from the trainer what is that so-called sentence and why it has to be phrased in such a way. And then you will answer practice questions, and after you practice, again the trainer will come and explain you why your answer is correct or wrong, and why the others are wrong, why this has to be this way. We always have those kind of doubts, right? Why does it have to be this way? Why can't it be that way? We all have that doubts, and everything will be cleared by the trainer in that video. So here is a conversation between two or more people, and you will have to answer the practice questions. and then you will have to learn, and the answer, you will get an on-screen answer whether it is right or wrong, and the trainer will come and explain you and review the answers whether it is right or wrong. Oh yes, and we're done with the written part. So, do you guys have any, you guys are with me? Am I going too fast? You guys can tell me, am I going too fast? We're just left with one more section and we'll be done. Alright, I think I should wait a minute or two. Am I going too fast? You guys can stop me if I'm going too fast. Great, I got multiple no's. Thank you guys. Glad that you guys are with me. So, what is the other section that I said we'll cover? We covered objective and we're done with return. And what is the one more section that we will talk about today? Do you guys remember? Oh, Subbalakshmi said I'm a little fast. Oh, Aziz also said little fast. Oh, I said it's waiting for the interview section. That's really great. That is the section that we have to cover. The spoken section, that is the interview section. Alright, so interview section. I think non-exams in general, we all panic when it comes to interview. That too, we panic for the most basic questions. Even when we panic for, the technical and, the questions that require us, using our brains, we struggle for the most basic questions. Can you guys name a few questions that we all panic for? What are the most basic questions? The generic questions that we all panic for, that is even more searched on Google. We answer this question. Can you guys to generic questions that is frequently asked in interviews and we all panic for it? Yes, Priyanshi has said, tell us something about yourself. You forget everything you know. Yes, I feel you. Why do you want this job? Yes, that too. About yourself, self-introduction. Yes. I think tell me about yourself question is the most question that we don't know. We suddenly forget who we are. We don't know what we do and what should we say to the interviewer, right? So these are the few questions that is most commonly asked. Tell us about yourself. What are your strengths and weakness? Express your opinion on so and so topic. When they ask such questions, you don't know if you should speak your mind or if you should you know convey your diplomatic view. Should you give your neutral point of view? You don't know. We get confused and we panic whether should we, or sometimes we don't even know what topic they're talking about. Everything happens in an interview and we get all panicky. So here, this is how we're going to assess and tackle the interview section, right? So you'll be given two conversations, not just one. I'll tell you why we give two conversations. These two conversations, one would be the right answer and the person will show you how you should exactly answer the question given by the interviewer, and the other one will be the you don't want to go for this. So when you're given two options, the ideal one and the not so correct one, you'll know the difference between those two, right? You'll get to see how the interviewer even reacts to it or what kind of impact it creates when you're looking at from a third person point of view. When you say the not so right answer in your interviews and come, you feel it is right. You think it is good. You think you're perfect. Your answer was good. But when a third person sees that, like you're watching, you know what kind of impression it creates and why the other one is better and why you have to use it. So it creates a more better impact and it registers in your brain more easily. So that is why we're giving two conversations, and then the trainer will come and explain you and she will even reason you why you should go for the more ideal one, and then you have to answer a few practice questions, right? So these are the two videos that you will get when you start learning about your interview section, the ideal one and the not so ideal one. And here the trainer will come and explain you why you have to prefer the better one. Here is the answer, and you have to answer the questions based on that. And these situations, and even after teaching all this, learning about this, you will also learn about the best phrases used in the interviews. You can't just use this that the regular boring words that we use in our regular conversations. You need to use better words to show that you have better vocabulary skills and your English is strong enough, right? You need to know the appropriate words you can use. All right, so that brings us to the end of interview section also. But it does not end there. We give you an additional module. It is the listen better module. So even though this listening skill is not going to directly impact your competitive exams, it is an essential skill. It is a bonus that helps you to bind all these writing, reading, speaking skills together. Listening is really important. So, how do we improve these listening skills? You guys do know the difference between listening and hearing, right? Do you think hearing and listening is the same, or do you think it's different? What do you guys think? Are you guys with me? What do you think is the difference? Do you think hearing and listening is different, or it is the same? Praveen says it's different. It's same. Shivam, it's not same. It's different. Exactly. Listening involves conversation. You're comprehending what the person is saying. Hearing is it just falls into your ears, and it is not necessary that you understand what they're saying. But listening is different. So listening skills is really, really essential in your everyday life, even though you're not preparing for competitive exams, even though you need to improve your listening skills. And how do we improve that? We're going to give you a video, and this video is going to be about an expert who is expert in their own field. They're going to be talking about a topic that they are well known for, and you will listen to that topic. And after listening to the topic, you will be asked a few questions based on what you have heard and listened, right? What you have listened, that is more important. Whatever you have listened in the video, the questions will be asked based on that to check how much you have listened and to improve your listening skill, right? So this is the video, and you'll be asked questions based on that, right? So this will really improve and this will check your understanding of the concept spoken, and it will improve you comprehending the other person's words and what they are talking about. So these are the answers, and we're done. All right, now you guys have some knowledge about the course and you have an idea what you're getting yourself into. And yes, you guys can now ask questions based on the English part of preparing competitive exams and about step for competitive exams. You guys can ask me questions and I'm open for it. AJ, this course is for 3 months. It will be available for 3 months. Aziza, will we have it daily? Aziza, this is an online digital course, so it will be available for you for all the 3 months, and you can use it how many ever times you want, at whatever time you want, at whenever you are free. So it is available at your beck and call. You can use it anytime. Misty, if you want to know about the course, we have given you a link there'll be a blue color pinned message on all this live chat going on. You can click on that link and you will be directed to the site. You will be directed to the course site. So if you guys didn't know, for the people who are attending this webinar on YouTube, only you guys get the 60% discount, not the others. So do avail this offer. Is this course helpful for IELTS? Life is beautiful. Okay, so I don't know what your real name is. Um, so let me tell you, IELTS, we have not framed this course specially for IELTS. We have done this for UPSC, SSC. We have considered all their blueprints and their syllabus and their weightage and marks, everything. But yeah, there will be overlapping of topics between IELTS and UPSC, SSC, right? So yes, you can take it for that, but this is not specially framed for IELTS. We just want to mention that. But you would have remembered the slide I showed in the beginning, right? We have covered this for those kind of exams. Hashrida, when does the course start? Hashrida, as soon as you purchase the course, it is available to you till the end of 3 months. Why am I not able to speak confidently? I think you think your English skill is weak. We think that English skill is weak before we even start talking, or we look at others, we compare our English to theirs and think that our English. And obviously, when you think like that and you start talking, you won't feel confident enough. And it's okay if you make mistakes. It's all about conveying your language is just a means to convey your message to the other person. The language should not be a barrier. Eventually, you'll get better at it. But for that, you have to start practicing and start talking. So you have to speak it out. I might have made a lot of grammatical mistakes while I'm talking right now, but still, I'm speaking. And is it recorded or live? Rahul, this is very much live. I'm currently reading your message, so I am live. Which course is more towards writing skills? Shoren, if you mean writing skills for competitive exams, yes, this is for it. If you mean for your regular writing skills, or if you want to improve more than that, then you can go check out our site step.thehindu.com. Ma'am, how to improve my vocabulary? Should I make a separate notebook and add new words and recall it? Yes, exactly, Divyam. I think I've mentioned it before. You are exactly saying it. When you're improving, just expose yourself to more new words. Even though the sentence that you already know can be replaced with new words. So know the meaning and know the context and try to include it in your conversations. That is really important. So yeah, it will be great if you can maintain a separate notebook and make note of one new word a day. Don't have to pressure yourself for more. Just go one word a day. Aravinda Krishnan, this webinar is obviously for free. If you are asking about the course, no, the course is not for free. Ma'am, please take online classes daily here on YouTube. Shantanu, we can't take online classes, but yes, we will try to release the videos here which will improve English skills. How much time each day? Neeraj, it totally depends on how much you're willing to dedicate yourself for the course. At the end of the day, all these courses and whatever PDFs or anything you guys get online, these are just a means to help you. In the end, it's the learner that has to take the, initiative and start learning, right? Hashida, is it live? Um, I am live. Mom, I got a pin. Then what should we do then? If you're talking about the pinned message in this YouTube live chat, click on the link, the blue color underlined link in the pinned message. If you click on that, it will take you to a site and you can check out the course. Alvi Joes, is it covering basic grammar? Basic grammar, as in I told you, right? The grammar that is essential for the competitive exams will be covered in this course. Is that same package course for SSC and UPSC? Yes, Devranjani, we have combined all the blueprint and the syllabus for all those exams and combined into one course. So it is same for both SSC and UPSC. Misty, I didn't get it. How to check fee? You will see a small blue box. It is tiny, but it is there on top of your live chat. And if you click on that, it will open, and there you will see a link in between, a underlined link. If you click on that, it will redirect you. How will it be useful for UPSC main exam? Children, I've explained it over, I think 45 minutes or 1 hour, I think. Ma'am, is it recorded or live? If you're asking about the classes in the course, then it is not live, it is recorded. Training video links. Prasad, you will get it in the app, in our Android app, as soon as you purchase the course. What is the last date to pay the fees? AMSB. There is no last date to pay the fee. As soon as you purchase the course will be available to you. There is no last date. But this 60% off is just available till tomorrow. Subbalakshmi, do you have any app? Yes, we do. It is available in the Play Store. It is for free. And deadline for this course. It is 3 months. Pavan, how many hours do you think? Like I said, it depends on the learner. You can learn for 2-3 hours in one day, and the next day it can be just for 15 to half an hour. Yeah, it totally depends. It is inconsistent, right? We don't exactly learn for hour every day. It is up to you. If you want to learn consistently, it is up to you. We haven't fixed any time for the learner. We have let it free. Shivam, do we get a certificate? Yes, yes, you do. Misty, can anyone tell me about the course fee? Misty, you can click on the link. Are you not, is the link not available for you? Shantanu, how can I contact you? Um, Shantanu, the contact number, just a minute. Alright, I'll try to give you guys the contact number. So I think I've sent a contact number. You guys can check that. How to read fast and grasp. Uh, Gaurav, I think reading fast and grasping things faster will gradually happen when you ace the reading skill and comprehending things faster. We should just try to focus like one step on a time rather than thinking that I should learn everything faster. And if you have that mindset, you will be in a very, you know, hazy state and everything will be hasty. So maybe just go slow. First read things slow and understand better. And then gradually you'll read faster and you'll understand better. Thank you for your efforts on this. Thank you, Prasad. Thank you so much. Can I write editorial like the Hindu after I complete this course? Mayank, that was not the intention for this course. The course intention is to help you score better in your English section for your competitive exams. We want to know if your course will be live or recorded. Yes, I've mentioned it before. It is not a live Neeraj, it is recorded. Divyam, thank you so much. Thank you for sticking along for an hour. That too during a week when you have the festival tomorrow. That's really nice of you. We are awaiting more support from you regarding UPSC. That's great, Prasad. You can always contact us on the numbers given. Ma'am, the link is visible, but it is not redirecting. Okay, I'm not sure why that's happening. Is it happening for everybody? Is the link is not working? Guys, I think the others are able to view it. Ma'am, I haven't received my graduation certificate yet. That doesn't have to do with anything. If you're preparing for competitive exams, you can go for this course. It does not, that's not necessary. Your graduation certificate is not necessary. All right, there are a lot of questions coming in. I'm not able to keep track of it. How much average time required to complete course in 3 months? Neeraj, again, I can't tell you that this much time is necessary. It depends on the learner. Like I said, few days we may be learning for an hour, and the other days might be learning just for 10 minutes, and our concentration will not go longer than that. It depends on a person. You can watch it how many ever times you want over the 3 months. Right? So it is up to you. And it depends. Everything is planning and strategically planning your time. As we all are preparing for competitive exams, you probably have a plan and schedule. If not, you guys can go plan it from now. You can start from the easiest, the English section. Yes, we have pasted the link for those who are saying that the link is not working. Code offer available till tomorrow. Till tomorrow. The demo. Sushil, this is basically the demo. I have taken you through the course. I've shown you every section that the competitive exam will cover. And yeah, certificate is there, Praveen. You will get the certificate after you clear the final test. You guys will get practice tests in between. You get practice, and yeah, in the final test, if you pass, then you will get the certificate. All right, guys. It's I hope I have answered all your questions. Is it helpful for working professionals? Shivam, the intention of the course again is for helping you improve your English section to score better in your English section for competitive exams. It is not for a working professional. We have created this course purely for competitive exam aspirants. All right, guys. I think I've cleared all your doubts. I'm trying to read all your messages, but yeah. Thank you, Vishali. Glad that you enjoyed the session and it was really hope it was helpful for all of you. And yes, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for being here and be sticking with us and sticking so long.